Ba 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 da ba ba.
Hello there, Rian Johnson here, and old Rian really felt compelled to urgently make a video because our old friend, my parody account known as Rian Johnson, has been tweeting about the Star Wars fans again, and yes, he's being rather abusive and making up lies and calling us racist trolls. So, Ruin, who does not want to be confused with that round-headed buffoon, thought he would reveal the accusatory tweets and share them with all you man babies. So, let's get right into it. Okay, so this recent tweet storm all starts with new shill on the block, that's Junkman. Now, Junkman is obviously trying to make a bit of a name for himself by tweeting out stupid shit just to try and get a reaction. Well done, Junkman, you've got a reaction from good old Rian Johnson. So, first of all, let's start with some of the most stupid shit that Junkman says. So, you can see here, he's listed things that he says are things stupid people say. Well, he spelt Raylo wrong for a start. He's also spelt ruin wrong, and he's been called out for that by one of his followers there. So, Junkman, you've clearly marked yourself out as a bit of an idiot. But anyway, that's not what we want to get into. It's some of the more ridiculous tweets that come after this. So, let's move on. Okay, so this is where Junkman really gets into it. So, he says here, I get told this every day, but I've yet to see any quotes from anyone shitting on the fans. So he's referring to, obviously, unless you've been in a bloody Bacta tank for the last 2 years, you can't help but fail to notice the Lucasfilm employees led by Rian Johnson who've been attacking the fans and abusing the fans, all because we didn't like The Last Jedi and we had problems with his perfect movie. But oh no, Junkman got to get those press passes, got to get those free tickets for Celebration. So Junkman shoving his brown nose right up Rian Johnson's arse. And you can see here he says he's never seen any evidence of it. All he's seen is Kathleen Kennedy wearing a shirt or something that was implied. Well, Junkman, if you just go onto Google, you'll see ample evidence of Rian Johnson where he's called people man-babies on multiple occasions, where he targeted poor Mike Zero and made up a story about abusing Mike Zero on the set. He also called fans arseholes and showed them the middle finger, and he also told fans that they were misogynists and woman haters. Junkman, if you just go to Google, put in Rian Johnson tweets, you'll see plenty of evidence. I don't know why you're ignoring it. And this is just Roundhead Ryan, not to mention Chucky Wendig, who was fired for his abusive tweets, and other idiots like Freddie Prinze Jr. has also been very abusive to the fans, and we can throw in there Pablo and lots of the other idiots and shills. But let's stick to the point. So, Junkman says the only thing he can find, and this time he tags Rian Johnson, is the tweet where he calls fans man babies, and he says they took this tweet and said it means if you don't like a movie, Rian called you a man baby. That's it. That's what triggered some fans. Well, you're wrong, Junkman. I've just given you plenty of evidence where he's called fans lots of different names, although man baby seems to be his favourite insult of choice. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because he tagged Rian Johnson, and guess what? Old Rian responded, and here we go. So he says, it's also funny that the context rarely gets mentioned. This tweet was the morning the news broke that Kelly had been driven off Instagram by racist trolls. So here we go again. Even though we've never had any evidence or any confirmation that Kelly Marie Tran left Instagram because of racist trolls, Rian Johnson is rolling out the old excuses. Well, very interesting, Rian, because what about all the other occasions when you call fans manbabies and arseholes and sexists and racists? Do you have an excuse for all of those? Now, Ruin would like to point out, I am certain that Kelly Moran really did receive some appalling abuse, because virtually everyone who's on the internet receives appalling abuse, myself included. If you then make the decision to leave social media, I fully support it. But to call fans racist trolls and to try and excuse your own appalling behaviour in referring to fans multiple times as manbabies, you're pathetic, Rian Johnson, and I no longer want to be associated with you, even though I look exactly like you. You're an absolute embarrassment, and I do have to wonder who the parody is sometimes. But anyway, Junkman, obviously this has made Junkman's day. His brown nose is right up the round arse of Rian Johnson. He's managed to get a reply from the King Manbaby himself, and Junkman says, they're going to tell you that's a lie, and she never ran off Instagram, but she was going to take a break, and the media made up the whole ran off by racist trolls. Trust me, someone will say it. And then Rian Johnson again, he kind of rephrases the manbaby insult, but he says, hard to imagine an adult male would be so infantile. Well, Rian, I refer you to all the other tweets, and it's hard to imagine an adult male like you would be so abusive to all the fans, some of you whom had very, very considered legitimate criticisms, yet you give them the birdie, you call them arseholes, you dismiss them, you made dick jokes, you really are an embarrassment. Now, I would like to go back to the whole Kelly Marie Tran thing, because firstly, we need to separate the actress from the character. Kelly Marie Tran is the actress, Rose Tico is the character, and it's perfectly fine to have an issue with Rose Tico the character, because it was a god-awful character, and a lot of us feel rather disappointed for poor Kelly Marie Tran that Rian Johnson would come up with such a bullshit character, and unfortunately this poor actress had to portray her. So that's the first distinction. And secondly, Rian, you're such an idiot, because what you're saying is you cannot be critical in any way of a character played by an ethnic minority or a person of colour. That would be racist. Well, Rian, for you to treat certain races differently from others is the definition of racism. Maybe you're the racist, Johnson. So there we have it, manbabies. Rian Johnson is 2 years along and he's still going at it, still having a go at the fans. He just won't move on. Why don't you move on, Rian, and let us all get on with it? But no, he has to stick his round head in the mix and abuse the fans and make up lies and call us all manbabies and racists and sexists and you name it. He's still rolling out the old excuses for his shitty movie. Well, Rian, you've been proven once again to be the king of the manbabies, the biggest troll on Twitter, and let's face it, we all know there's not a cat's chance in hell that you'll ever get your trilogy, you sad little man. And at this point, I'm about this close to ripping up this goddamn mask. Until next time, manbabies, goodbye.
I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found.